All right, so we are going to be learning about different ways to measure the center of data. So we can display it in tables or dot plots, or just in a list of numbers. But let's go ahead and say that we have students' hourly wage. And we are going to look at the mean, which is the average. Okay. The median, which is the middle number, and the mode, which is the most common. Okay, now the average we find by taking the sum of the numbers, sum, and dividing by the number of numbers, which we normally just say is n. Okay, so n is number of numbers. Make sure that is an n. The middle number, if we have 2, then we take the midpoint, or the average, both of them. But generally, we need to have them in list either from least to greatest or greatest to least. So greatest to least or least to greatest. And then the most common, you could have more than one if there are multiple repeated, but the one that's repeated the most is the mode. Okay, so look at this table down below. We have students' hourly wage, and we want to find the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay, well, let's go ahead and say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers, okay? And then we can list them out in order, or we don't have to. We can just go through and say that, 3.87 is the smallest number. The next smallest number is going to be the 6.99. The next smallest number is going to be this one or this one. They're both actually the same, so it doesn't matter which one. And then after that, we've got $7.99. Next highest is that one, 7, and then 8, okay? So we'll use that whenever we do the median, okay? But the mean means that we have to add all these up. So I'm going to find the total sum, okay, by using a calculator, by adding all of these up, okay? And so that's going to give us 58.8. And then if we want to divide it by n, then we have 8 numbers. So when I divide this, I'm going to get 735. So that means that on average, someone is going to make $7.35. Now, so that'll be our mean. And our median, if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers, then 4 and 5 are going to be the 2 middle ones. So luckily those two are right next to each other. And so we need to add them up and divide by 2. And that'll tell me my midpoint, which is my median. Okay. So if I add them up and I divide by 2, then I get $7.62. Which is a little bit higher than the mean. It's about 33 cents higher. And then my mode, let's see which one's going to be repeated the most. We said that 725, it's the only one that's actually repeated. So you don't have to have a mode. You could just have, you could just say none. But we do, so we're going to go with $7.25. So we want to look and say, how do these numbers describe the data set? Okay, so the mean is a little bit lower than the median. And you know what? That actually has something to do with the fact that there is an outlier in the data set. Meaning there is a number that doesn't fit in with all the rest. Meaning it's really, really high or it's really, really low. It's usually either the least or the greatest. And essentially there's like a big jump between it. So our smallest number is $3.87. And to get to our next smallest number, we would actually have to add $2. So that's a pretty big jump compared to the other one. So $3.87 is our outlier. So if we wanted to recalculate this problem when there's no outlier, then essentially I'm going to list all the other numbers. So $8.75, $8.25, $6.99. We can actually list them in order. So let's see. So we've got $6.99 is first, and then $7.25. We have two of them. And then the next one would be $7.99. And then $8.25. Oops, sorry. $8.45 and then $8.75. Okay, so let's see how removing the outlier could affect this data. So when I go to add these, I'm going to get a new sum. And so my mean is the sum, oops, I keep trying to write I, divided by n. And so my sum this time is now 54.93. And my n this time is now 7. So that makes our average $7.85. Okay, well, it was $7.35 with the outlier. My median, now that we have 7 numbers, if you look and you count and you say 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1, my median is $7.99. And then my mode is still $7.25 because that's the only number that's being repeated. Okay, so that one didn't change. But my median was $7.62. And this one was $7.25. So without the outlier, my mean went up by 50 cents. And without the outlier, my median went up by 37 cents. Sorry, that's supposed to be a cent sign. Okay, so in this case, the mean was affected more because it had a bigger change of 50 compared to 37. So outliers, they're in the data set and they affect the mean, but not the median. So here's the way that we're going to use that to apply. So if there are outliers, so if we have outliers, and the answer is yes, then we want to go with the median because it won't be affected. But if the answer is no, then we can go with the mean because it will take into account all the numbers. Okay. The one last thing is, what do you think would happen if I increased all numbers by 40 cents? Okay. Well, if you recalculate and we go back to our original problem up here and we add all of them, then my sum will go up by 40 cents times 8, and then I'm dividing by 8 again, so my mean will go up. So the mean will increase by 40 cents as well. The median will do the same thing. And so will the mode. So if you add numbers to all, or if you make all of them smaller or all of them bigger, then they will all be affected, the mean, median, and the mode. That's it for today. Let me know if you have questions when you get to your homework.